welcome back to Dicebreaker, or should I say Dungeonbreaker? Because we've decided to start playing Dungeons and Dragons because it is popular and we like it, so we thought, I know.
That was convincing.
We'll play it. I like Dungeons and Dragons. Anyway, we're going to start a bloody campaign, aren't we?
Oh my god.
My goodness.
Fruity language.
With Eberron Rising from the last war. I will give you a bit of backstory about this momentarily. It's got bloody dinosaurs in it. I mean,
my
what could be
goodness.
better? I will give you some backstory on the world as soon as you have all introduced yourselves and your characters, saying as much or as little as you would like. We'll begin with you.
Me? Josiah. Hi, I'm Alex from the video team, and I will be playing Mist on the Mountain, or Mist for short. I am a Tabaxi bard. I have been travelling around for a while, just playing my tunes. Oh yeah, I have a harp. Hello. That sounded terrible, but there you go. And just like listening to people's stories and like finding interesting things along the way. I come from the Hidden Shower clan. I wrote the backstory a while ago, but it's something about where we live. There's like a waterfall behind a waterfall that we use as a shower. Hence Hidden Shower. And that's pretty much to me.
Cool.
Yeah, an entire community of people based around
Where
showering
they clean
facilities.
themselves.
Like waterfalls without hidden things behind them are just boring. So I can dig it.
Thank
What
you.
about you,
Yes,
Birdman?
you can.
Hello, I'm Birdman, also known as Michael Whelan, or Wheels for short. I'm also part of the video team, and today I'll be playing well, not just today, probably for the foreseeable future.
Nah,
I will be playing Fizz, the Kenku wizard. If you don't know what a Kenku is, you can probably guess from my outfit that they are crow people. And the sort of rumour has it that they used to exist in another plane of existence, serving some kind of demon or god. They then betrayed their master, who then proceeded to curse them. 3 curses were laid upon them. First of all, their wings withered and died and fell from their bodies, so they could no longer fly. Then they they cursed their pattern of speech, so they could no longer speak their own language. And would be forced to mimic other people's voices. And third of all, they also were cursed so that they could never be creative ever again, so that they could never think up another plot to betray their master again. Which is a bit of a downer.
Yeah.
However, Fizz, after working for quite a while as a sort of criminal, busybody, just doing rubbish work and doing what he's been told to do because he can't think up anything better, he happened upon a potion which actually restored his creativity, and now he is addicted to that substance because it's the only thing that makes him feel whole again. And that's my lovely, fun character, Fizz, the Kenku wizard.
You can make me
Oh,
whole
okay.
again.
I was going to do that as well. I'm glad we're so in sync. But who is this with the horns and the towel rack and stuff?
How dare you, sir? I am Matt Jarvis, the editor-in-chief of Dicebreaker, and I am playing Morbus Gloombringer, the tiefling cleric, the most powerful tiefling cleric in the universe, the most powerful being in the universe, although I'm on my way to proving it a little bit. But you'll see. You'll all see. And you may have heard of someone called Sylvan Goodhart, but they're no one. They're dead now. They're dead to you and you and you. Gloombringer's here to be evil and stuff.
Wow.
Also, I have horns.
It's pretty bad.
Oh yeah!
Yeah, right.
I think we know what alignment you're playing. Or do we?
That's very judgmental.
Wow. Well, who
I
are
didn't
you?
make the
Says
system.
the person in a burlap sack.
Who are you, Miss Burlap?
Miss Burlap, also known as Mian. I am playing a character called Tim the Goblin. He is a very small goblin. He lives in a swamp, and he is a swamp druid. Surprise, surprise. And he's just all about discovering himself, going on a journey, making friends, having a few nights out on the beach with a few bevies, that sort of thing. He's very chill.
Tim the Goblin has a Tinder profile with him next to a sedated lion.
You know,
That's the most horrible thing I've ever heard you say.
people just want experiences now. They don't want to buy things.
Cool. And that's Tim the Goblin.
The anti-capitalist.
There you go.
And my name is Sarah. I work for the editorial team over at Dicebreaker, and I will be playing Eric Ir Casalata, who is the noble-born son, the bastard noble-born son, which fortunately a little bit hard to hide, what with the ears and everything, although they do look lovely. And I think I will keep Eric a mystery right now because everyone loves a mystery, and I will keep it at that.
All right, so we've got a gobbo, a cat person, 2 megalomaniacs, and a smack addict.
Hey!
So, I think we should
About our
get...
D&D characters, Johnny.
Let's get right into it. What is Eberron? You did not ask, but I will tell you anyway. Eberron is quite a vibrant world, but it is one that is recovering from over a century of war. Let me read from the book. The last war has ended, sort of. The last war plunged the continent of Corvair into civil war more than a century ago, shattering the 5 nations that made up the kingdom of Galifar. Just 2 years ago, the war ended with the signing of the Treaty of Thronehold and the establishment of 12 recognised nations and a tenuous peace. The conflicts, the anger and the pain of the long war remain, however, and the new nations seek every advantage as they prepare for the next war to break out on the continent. So it's a weird time for you all. There's been more than a century of war. You were born into it, you've never known anything else, but now for the last 2 years you've been like, peace. And that is strange. It is a strange and inviting world where you try and make sense of who you are in this new era of peace, even though nobody really expects it to last very long at all. One other thing I would like you to know is that there are some people who are from the so-called dragon-marked dynasties in this world, and they are very powerful and influential people. They're described as the barons of industry and commerce throughout Corvair and beyond. And basically they sort of, they've got a lot of, all the different houses are known for a different sort of industry. There's one house that has lots of flying zeppelins. There's one that has incredible high-speed trains. There are some really incredible mechanical constructs in this world. And basically the Dragonmark dynasties, they've sort of profited from the war and become more influential by just generally being a little bit conniving. So that's them.
So basically Tim's nemesis, right?
Yeah.
The anti-capitalist.
Yeah, exactly. So so everyone knows of the Dragonmark dynasties. You probably never met anyone from there, but anyway, I will tell you more specifically about where our adventure begins. We are playing in the nation of the Eldeen Reaches. Presumably, it's where Tim the Gobbo is originally from, because this is a nation almost entirely covered in forests and swamps, and it's very, very green. In fact, the capital where you all are is the city of Greenheart. You have travelled the outskirts of the city to a large Colosseum-like building that is known only as the Arena. You have answered a summons. You haven't. You're in a swamp. You're just doing gobbo stuff.
Couldn't find your address.
Because what do you care about money? But these people all saw an advert offering a very, very large reward for a very secretive job. So you don't know the nature of the work, but given the sums being offered for its successful completion, you suspect that it is quite risky. Anyway, you have arrived at the arena and you've been shown into a sort of private courtyard, which is all very serene. There are sort of chaise longues. Chaises longs. There's some big old chairs. You've been given nice little cups of tea while you wait for somebody to come along and generally.
Oh.
We'll give you some sugar and water and a little.
Yeah, do you put your little beak in there?
So you're just sort of waiting around until somebody comes along and hands you a MacGuffin.
Is there some kind of MacGuffin vending machine on the wall?
Oh no, sorry. Yeah, there's just a big bell pull that says "Ring the MacGuffin." I was just wondering if anyone wanted to do any chit chat before we get right into it. But
is there a tree or a
Yeah.
high point?
Yeah, there's a nice, like, carefully cultivated orange tree.
Okay, I'm in the tree.
Okay.
These guys don't know I'm there,
Okay.
and I'm in the tree, and I've noticed this creature over here, this feathered creature, and I'm like, kind of like stalking him, like from the tree. And I'm like kind of slowly making my way down the tree. And then when I think he's least expecting it, I jump.
Did you just eat one of my feathers?
No.
I was going to make you roll for that, but to be honest, that was quite delightful, so I'm just going to let it stand. Yeah, you're knocked to the floor by a tabaxi.
Right, okay. Do I know it's a tabaxi?
Yeah, you know what a tabaxi is. You've
Yeah,
spent
but-
most of your life running from them.
You jumped on my back, right?
Oh.
Yeah.
Do I just feel some claws in my back?
Yeah.
I'm assuming there's a monster on back of me then.
Yeah.
Fizz screams, "It's a trap!" And I cast Acid Splash
Oh goodness!
behind me.
Okay.
Can I avoid this?
It's presumably a saving throw, right?
I cast it at will, and it is an attack save, Dex 14.
Okay, so you need to make a dex saving throw. Don't forget to add your dex modifier. You're looking to beat a 14 to avoid acid damage.
Ooh, that's a 13 plus 3, 16.
Okay. So yeah, you then leap backwards off this Kenku who's thrown a bunch of acid, which hits a lovely chaise longue, which immediately starts smoking and sort of dissolving. And at this sort of slight commotion, the doors, two internal doors, are pushed open, and a very sort of grand-looking man. He wears sort of a very fine doublet. And he walks with sort of a cane. He's got a very broad belt that shines with the glint of gold. He's sort of like, he's not paunchy, but you know, like when dudes are like straight up, straight down, but their chest is like a good 3 inches further out than any other humans. He looks like a walking tree trunk, basically.
Gaston.
Yeah, just like Gaston.
I was thinking in my head.
He eats 5 dozen eggs, and then he says, "Well, that's interesting." Sort of just looking at the furniture that's bubbling away and smouldering in the corner of the courtyard.
I'm kind of predisposed here. So.
I'm just watching this and chuckling to myself while sipping some tea.
I walk up to him, I go, "Hi, I'm Miss, nice to meet you."
Hello. He sort of transfers his cane to his other hand, shakes your paw.
What's your name?
My name is Algernon Fortbrine.
I'm not going to remember that.
You can call him Al.
You may not call me Al.
Are you a bodyguard by any
me,
chance? Are you a bodyguard by any chance?
No, I am the owner and proprietor of the arena here in Greenheart, and I have a job for all of you. It is of the utmost importance that it be done, and swiftly. It is of the utmost importance that it be done secretly and without bloodshed.
I tap him on the shoulder.
What?
I hear the reward is large. Now, are we talking like big boulder large? Are we talking like mountain large? Are we talking like a melon? What kind of?
Those are the 3 sizes that we use here in Greenheart.
If you see this quest through, each of you will receive 2 melons of gold.
Oh.
Stuff the payment. Is there anything evil to fight along the way?
I'm afraid it's not that kind of job. I'll lay it out on the line for you. As you know, the arena's greatest attraction is the dinosaur racing.
Of course.
You do know this.
Yeah.
It's like everyone bloody loves a good dinosaur race. Like it is like the gambling industry of Greenheart is kept afloat pretty much solely by the dinosaur races. And he says our star attraction, our prize racing dinosaur, has gone missing. I need you to track him down, and I need you to return him. Otherwise, we're sunk.
Which dinosaur?
Hmm?
Which dinosaur is it?
His name is Cisco.
Cisco?
Yes.
Oh no.
He is.
Which route did he take? Little router joke for you there.
He's a clawfoot. You I think you all know what. Everyone bloody knows Cisco. Everyone's heard of Cisco.
Yeah, I know Cisco.
Cisco's a clawfoot. He's a two-legged saurian with sharp teeth and toe claws that resemble deadly sickles. Basically, he's a velociraptor.
Dangerous.
Yeah. Cool. I need you to go check out his pen, pick up whatever trail you can, find him, bring him back. I'll reward you. You'll go away. We'll say nothing more of it.
Dead or alive, right?
No, alive. Has to be alive.
Fountain pen, ballpoint pen. What kind of pen?
His enclosure. Where
Pick up his entire
he lives.
enclosure.
No, I need you to go and look. I want you to find my dinosaur.
Gotcha.
Okay.
How long's the dinosaur been missing?
He went missing last night. So the trail should be fresh enough.
Well, he's a racing dinosaur, so he's probably pretty quick, huh?
Well, I think the implication, Miss, is that, by the way, that wasn't cool earlier, but I think the implication, Miss, is that
You know, how do
it's
you know
been
my name?
stolen. You just introduced yourself to Big Chest
Oh,
over here.
yeah.
Pardon?
Sorry, Albert.
You can call him Al.
Yeah, Al. You just
You may
introduced yourself
not
to Al. What I was trying to say is that this dinosaur has probably been nicked, right? Which means it doesn't really matter how fast it's going. It's been picked up by someone else, isn't it? Is his cage still there?
His pen.
Yes, it's still there.
Right. And is it in the enclosure?
Pen.
Pen.
Why don't I show you?
Question. Why have you put me with these utter fools?
What do you mean, why is he put... You came in with us!
I'm not.
Listen.
I don't know you.
We had hundreds of applicants for this position. You were vetted, and for some reason my secretary decided that you were the most promising candidates.
I do have to go to the vet quite often.
About the vetting process, actually. I do just want
You
to
may
point
take
out...
this coin, it represents inspiration. You can spend it to gain advantage on a roll whenever you choose.
I did just want to point out that the incident 2 years ago with the big ham in the town square, that was actually not me. There's another Fizz who is a Kenku who lives here. So any links that I have to that criminal act, you can just not worry about.
I wasn't worrying about it.
Cool. Well, I'm glad we cleared that up. Let's go have a look at this dinosaur pen then, shall we?
He leads you. He leads you into basically onto the floor of the arena, and you're all a bit starstruck. You're like it's huge. There are lots of tiered seating. You know what a coliseum looks like. It takes on a strange sort of calm majesty without the baying crowds there. It's kind of very, very quiet. And as he speaks to you, he's like, "I will show you the way now." His voice sort of reverberates, and you're all sort of a bit awestruck. He leads you beneath the arena. There are lots of different doors here, all secured with large deadbolts. They're not locked, but it's kind of basically it's like a stables, but for dinosaurs. You can see lots of them are kind of looking inquisitively over the tops of their pens, like they're sort of scrabbling around in the straw.
I reach out to pet one.
It kind of hisses and is like.
Right back.
It kicks at the door of its enclosure.
I scurry away.
You come to one pen which the doors are wide open. The bolt has been sort of thrown back, and it's empty. And over the door there is an elaborate sign that just says Cisco.
I would like to investigate.
All right, please make me an intelligence investigation check.
Very well.
You're all allowed to do this if you so desire. Not you. You're doing gobbo stuff.
Plus
We'll get to you very shortly.
That's fine.
That is not great. It's an 11 from me.
Okay.
Investigation.
13.
Okay.
My word.
Smarts are
19
not my
plus
strong
something.
13's a perfectly respectable roll.
20. Not natural, but
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20.
dirty 20.
All right. You kind of you all pass. It's you see that there are no real signs of struggle. It doesn't look like Cisco is in any real state of distress or anything. You see quite clearly in sort of the sand that sort of still litters the floor of this tunnel that Cisco left on foot, seemingly at quite a relaxed pace, kind of just padded out of the enclosure. So the door came open, Cisco was like, might have a look around actually. And more boss, because you got yourself a 20. You investigate the deadbolt, and you're like, well, this wasn't locked, so if anyone did open this door, it wouldn't be a hard thing to do anyway. But the bolt is fully back, and it's not only been pulled back, it's been turned down. You are convinced that the door was deliberately opened.
Can I use my cantrip light, which lets me touch one object that's no larger than 10 feet in any dimension, so I'll just find like a rock or something on the floor. I can make it any colour. So can I make it ultraviolet light?
Yeah, of course you can. Yeah, that's amazing.
So I touch a rock,
so
I turn it to an ultraviolet light.
Have inspiration for that. That was
Thank you
amazing.
I would recommend never doing that in a hotel room. Speaking from
Welcome to
experience.
Dungeonbreaker, a family-friendly Dungeons and Dragons
I don't know what you
series.
kenkus are like. I always assumed you were dirty.
What, for going in a hotel?
Why they let you in the first place? Beyond me.
Yeah, so you scan over it, and on the door, there are quite a few handprints. It looks like some people were kind of going along and like looking into all of the stalls. They were clearly looking for one door in particular, and it seems they found it because there are 2 sets of handprints on the door. It's like on the jamb. There's also like handprints on the deadbolt. Clearly, some people sort of pulled the door open.
Can I tell anything for the hand? So are they distinctly human-like? Are they of another race or species?
They are humanoid. You're fairly certain it's humans.
And is there any kind of blood or liquid on the floor?
Liquid.
There's some mud,
Okay.
sort of dried as if it's crusted off some boots. Fort Bryan sort of left you to examine the room, and now he comes back to you and he's got a very large leather backpack on him, and as he sort of turns, he unceremoniously dumps it on the floor. Says, "That's cured meats, Cisco's favourite treats. When you find him, this should enable you to win his trust and bring him back safely."
Can I smell the bag of cured meats and see if it matches with any points in the pen? I'm wondering if the Cisco was led out
Lured
using
out
some
with
kind of
meaty
treat.
treats.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yes, that's another investigation check, please.
That's a natural one.
You all see Fizz dump his head into the bag, and he spends approximately 6 minutes huffing on meat smell. You pull your head out, and you're like, "Oh my god, this pen does smell like meat. Oh my god, I smell like meat. Oh my god, she smells like everything smells like meat." You are only going to be able to smell meat.
Oh
for
god, it's the ham incident all over again.
4 hours, you will smell nothing but meat. You start salivating uncontrollably. So Fizz sort of just turns around after a weird 6 minutes of huffing on a bag and just goes like, "I don't think that." Just for all of that. Fort Bryan just goes, "Bring me back my dinosaur," and he just turns and leaves. So you have a
Bye.
you've got a sack of cured meats, you've got a scant trail of dried mud, and you've got a contract to go find a dinosaur.
Moggy, is your nose any good? Can you smell this mud and follow the scent? This fool's no use.
I can try. Right?
Yeah.
What
What am I rolling here? I mean,
What did you roll?
well, you tell me first.
Okay. It would be like wisdom perception, probably. Yeah, wisdom perception. Why? What did you roll?
I rolled a 19 plus 3 is
Yeah, that's
22.
fine. Yeah, you sniff it and you're like, "Oh yeah." You're like, yeah. We're going to a swamp. Like you smell it, you're like, "Swamp mud."
Come on, guys. I know a swamp around here.
It's kind of like, in cartoons when you just get waves of smell, that come off a high by the windowsill.
It's The Witcher.
It's that, or it's like I was desperately trying not to make a Witcher reference because I know Lurleys won't have played The Witcher 3. But yes, there is the trail is almost visible
I'm like
to you.
floating through the air.
Yeah,
like,
yeah, she's like floating along.
At the end is a very tall sandwich.
So yeah, you follow a levitating tabaxi as she sort of undulates out of the arena through the streets, and it's pretty quick actually. You travel for less than an hour out of the city. So that's 3 hours left on your ham nose.
That's what they call me. Full ham nose.
And you start to move into a swamp area. The trail is getting harder for you to follow now.
Because we're in swamp and I smell swamp.
Yeah. Everyone please make me a wisdom perception check.
That's a 21.
I've got a 16.
It's an 11.
Okay.
I've got wisdom perception. I've got -1 on perception. I
Oh,
got
dear.
18.
Oh wow, okay.
I still rolled a 19, but
It's pretty loud, so you all hear it. You hear a sort of like how does Tim the Goblin scream? What does Tim the Goblin scream sound like?
It's probably something like
You hear that through the trees. You sort of leg it, you burst through the tree line, and you see a dinosaur looming over a small creature. Could you describe said creature to us, please?
It's about 2 foot tall. Like brown and sloppy, and but these like really big ears. And at the moment, he's like cowering back. I go, oh please don't hurt me. Oh, I'll do anything.
The sort of warbling coming from this strange creature seems to be sort of intriguing and confusing this dinosaur, all at the same time. It's kind of like cocking its head, then like sniffing and like snarling. It's basically like, you know when cats are not sure whether or not they're going to hit something? That, but it's a dinosaur, and it's like, I want to eat it, but it's deeply weird.
Morboss is deeply impressed. He kind of perceives this as kind of like a deliberate feint to confuse the dinosaur, and he's like, perfect. So he withdraws the mace from his side and runs up and tries to smack the dinosaur.
I'm like, wait!
Full being. Okay.
I sort of like hold my temple and sigh quite audibly. Always with the bloody mace. And I kind of like I get the meat, like just get a bit of meat out of the sack.
Okay. Make me a strength check.
Oh.
Oh lord.
16 plus 1, 17.
Okay, you've definitely hit it. Roll damage.
I think it's 1d6. Yeah, 1d6. All right. 2.
Okay, you basically run up like with a mace, and you see Morboss just basically swat it on the nose like it's a rolled up newspaper, and it kind of like it recoils, and a bit of blood sort of like comes out of one of its nostrils, and it's like it mostly seems sort of dazed, and then it's like and gets a sniff of the meat in the sack.
I use my mage hand to sort of tantalisingly wave the meat near it.
It's sort of, it immediately almost starts stalking the meat.
Yeah, sort of as you would with a cat, and some string, just kind of drawing it.
Okay.
And then I sort of lead it away as if it's walking toward the city.
Cool.
Well, we appear to have a dinosaur. And it's just kind of watching it, like.
It's kind of like making little leaps now to try and get the meat. Everyone make me a wisdom perception check, please.
I think I know what's about to happen. Oh,
Me as well.
I got a 7.
5.
21.
Ooh.
Perception. 8.
That is a 17.
Okay. The two of you are sort of like you're sort of getting your breath back after a dinosaur was there trying to eat you, and you're watching it kind of go away, and you're like, oh, bloody hell. All right, you catch out the corner of your eye. You are completely surrounded by people dressed in like camouflage, and sort of like they've got sort of like almost wooden armor. It looks like it's been grown, and trees have been shaped to form all of these sort of like braces and stuff, and they are covering you with bows. And you don't notice this. You're all still like, this dinosaur floating meat. You're like, everything smells like ham. And you hear a voice saying, don't you give that dinosaur any meat.
I mean, why?
I'm asking the questions here. I haven't asked one yet.
Say.
I'm gonna be asking the questions here.
Don't you give that dinosaur some meat?
You are now like, huh? And you realise that you're all completely surrounded. A woman steps out of the foliage, and she has like a very large sort of scimitar almost. She points it directly at you and goes, "Drop the mace."
Morbus drops it immediately, but in a way that seems, he's shaking as he kind of puts it on the floor. But he does it in a way that no one else should hopefully notice.
It's like he's disdainful of.
Exactly. Yeah. He's kind of like outwardly he's like, oh, I wish I could keep fighting, but inwardly he's relieved.
Woman goes, "I'm afraid I can't let you take that dinosaur back to the arena."
We're just looking to return it back to its original owner.
The original owner's a bastard.
Well, didn't kind of had a feeling about that one. What did he do exactly?
You know he mistreats these animals horribly.
What?
Yeah, well, that's the sports industry, isn't it, mate? Forget I said anything, actually.
Eat some ham.
Huh?
Eat some ham.
It's already on my palate. It would be wasted on me.
You hear sort of, she gives a slight signal, and you hear the creak of bowstrings, like.
Right, you are. Is the ham next to me? Is the bag of ham near me?
Yes.
I pick up the bag, and then sort of like disguising my crystal ball with the bag, I cast Disguise Self to make it look like I'm eating the ham.
Ooh. Cool. Yeah, and that just works. So
It's instant. It takes an action to cast. Or Minor Illusion would also work.
Sure.
That's a cantrip as well. I'm going to do that one. I'm going to cast a Minor Illusion that makes it look like a hand is popping out and I'm eating fake ham.
Okay.
I'm like, nom nom nom. That's nice.
Cisco, by the way, is watching you, like watching your hand go up to the ham. Like he's relaxed quite a lot, and he's sort of sidled up next to the woman, and now he's kind of like seems familiar with them, but is still a bit like new people, and still very interested in the ham, like really still interested.
I'm
in the
also
ham.
like watching the ham as he's eating it. Like, can I get some of that?
You feeling it yet?
I'm feeling a bit uncomfortable, if that's what you mean.
What's your spell save DC?
14.
Weird. Doesn't seem to work on you.
Alright, look, whatever you think about this ham, it's probably fine. Honestly, try some.
No, it's absolutely full of drugs.
No. Honestly, it's not. I would know. I take a lot of drugs.
Well, maybe that's why it's not working on you.
Oh, come on now.
Listen.
Correlation is not causation, my friend.
Tim the Goblin says, "I feel like it's a little bit unfair that you're eating all that poor dinosaur's ham."
I only ate a bit of it, and there's not a single bit of drugs in my system. So what's the matter? What do you want me to do? A blood test?
No.
Have a bite. Go on.
You can Cisco is kept in a stupor the whole time. He's only allowed to sober up on race days. It's inhumane. It's cruel, and they're doing it to every single creature in that arena. It's not fair. He deserves to be here in the swamp where he belongs. And just because the drugs don't work on you, whatever you are, doesn't mean that he's not absolutely off his rocker half the time.
I mean, so am I. What's the problem?
It's not nice for him.
How do you know? Can you talk to him?
Well, no.
There's a lot of presumptions going on. I don't know about you,
What's
boss,
your
but I
name?
think this is all a load of rubbish.
My name is Mila.
Take
What's
a meal of
your
this
name?
ham.
I'm not eating the bloody ham!
Well, you've had all these big suppositions about the ham.
Tim like puts his little hand up. He says, maybe me and the little dinosaur might have gone off on a wrong foot, but I'm not sure I like the idea of him living in the swamp with me as well.
Where he grew up, he's got every much right to live in the swamp as you do.
Is this a permanent arrangement, or?
Yeah, he's come home. We freed him.
How do you own him?
No, he's free. He's his own dinosaur. We're watching over him because we assumed that Fort Bryan would send some curs to try and track him down. It turns out we were right.
Oh, are they behind us?
Who?
They are you.
What?
I'm trying to insult you.
Oh, right. It's not working very well.
Listen. We bust that dinosaur out. Frankly, it's a miracle we managed it. We're going to keep an eye on him until we know no one else is coming to take the famous Cisco hostage, and then we're going to let him live a free life as he deserves to be living.
Can I ask a couple of questions about this plan?
Yeah.
So, first of all, you're taking a dinosaur that's been raised in captivity.
He's not been
on a lot
raised
of
in
drugs.
captivity. He was caught.
What?
Do you know nothing about Cisco the dinosaur?
I don't know, do I? How long's he been in the swamp? How long was he in the swamp, before he was captured?
Make me an intelligence history check. See how well you remember the story of Cisco the dinosaur.
Mine as well.
Yeah, of course you can. I've never met such an impertinent Kenku in all my life. 19. Well, you know that Cisco is about 8 years old now, but was captured at the tender age of 3, and so has been in captivity, stoned out of his gourd for the last 5 years. He's only been allowed to sober up in order to race or to be a stud dinosaur.
Are they like when they race? Do they have jockeys?
Yeah.
I'm like, can I have a go on him?
That's just the thing a dinosaur's oppressor would say. No, you can't have a go on him. His racing days are over.
Right, sorry, I've still got a couple of questions about this whole plan of yours. So, first of all, you take a dinosaur that
Why are
was
you
not
asking me
born-
about the plan's already happened? The dinosaur's here. This is where he lives. It's where he grew
Well,
up.
Phase 1 of the plan has happened. You've taken the dinosaur out of captivity and put it in the swamp
Do you
where
want me
it
to
doesn't
kill
know
you?
where to live anymore.
It-
What I see here, right, is someone who thinks they're doing a really good job and helping a dinosaur out, but in actual fact, they're taking a creature that's been living in captivity for the past 5 years, has no idea how to live in the wild, is probably still on the withdrawal symptoms from a lot of drugs, and is being shoved into a swamp where other people have moved in, and you're disturbing an incredibly delicate ecosystem, which we're now trying to retribute.
And you're telling me that a life of indentured service while under the influence of drugs, given without any say at all in every scrap of food it eats, is better?
Well, it depends on the opinion of the dinosaur, which we don't know because we can't talk to dinosaurs, and also, who are you to judge?
Morbus kind of gestures at all the drawn bows and arrows and goes, Birdman, read the swamp.
I am going to kill you if you don't stop talking.
Well, then
At least
that's
this one
fine.
speaks some sense. You there, who are you? Who are all of you people anyway?
I missed.
Hi.
Hi.
Tim's visibly like the eyebrows are going down, and like his fists are like clenching, and he's looking over at this lot. He's going, "Oh." At first, I was a little bit. I will admit, I was unsure about this seared dinosaur, but I respect the right of any creature to live in its own swamp if he wants to. And he's like looking at the lady and going, I agree with you. Let this dinosaur be free. And he walks over to the dinosaur.
It sort of gives you another sniff and it's still a bit like... but sort of tentatively sort of lowers his snout to you.
Mm.
And it's like he's offering...
Yeah, Tim like hits his little hand. He's like quite small compared to the snout.
Yeah.
That's sitting like pats.
Starts purring.
Oh, yeah.
Like it's a really low, like...
Tim's eyes are like very wide and they're swimming with tears at this point. Yeah.
Morbos walks up to Tim and says in the goblin tongue, which Morbos knows, Brilliant. That's it. Confuse them and let it go, and then we can find it and take it on later. Perfect plan.
Tin looks very confused. He's like, I mean, yes.
Morbos is impressed. He just kind of like sidles away, just nodding at this small creature's, ability to befuddle and manipulate people.
Mila sort of looks at you approvingly, and she kneels down. She puts sort of a hand on your shoulder and says, "Well, at least one of you's got a backbone."
Does the hand come off of the shoulder without sticking?
She's sort of like she looks at the hand. You do notice she sort of quietly gives it a little wipe. She's quite dark skinned anyway, so it's not obvious just how much sort of grime has come off from Tim the Goblin. But it seems like at least Mila's a bit like,
Yeah.
Mila knows.
Yeah. Tim says, I feel akin to this creature.
then
Forgotten, mistreated.
how about instead of working for that swine Algernon, you do some work for us instead?
Oh.
Join our cause.
Ow.
You
Have you
okay?
forgotten his name?
I didn't know who she was talking about. Fort Bryan or something.
Yeah, I thought it was a place for a little while.
Sorry, do go on.
Fools.
Yeah.
What's your offer?
I won't kill you. I mean, I won't kill any of you, but even though I'm tempted to, I won't kill you.
Right, yeah.
I'm asking, not offering. I want you to help us steal a whole bunch more dinosaurs.
Right, so we're being offered 2 golden melons at the moment. Each.
We need at least a boulder if we're going to be upping in price here.
Well,
Do you have anything interesting to
yeah, while we're stealing a bunch of dinosaurs, you can take whatever you want from the arena.
Can we take a dinosaur?
Yeah, we can take all the dinosaurs.
Oh, yay!
Well, hold on.
Yeah.
But then he'd be in our servitude, which is exactly what you're against,
What are
right?
you talking about? No, we're going to...
I'm really confused to what the whole plan is here.
What do we get to fight?
Anyone who stands in your way at the arena. We're going to let all the dinosaurs out, and we're going to let them go free in the swamp. And I tell you what, we'll help you steal a bunch of gold from Algernon. How's that sound?
But how does that sound? Are our adventurers about to steal a whole bunch of dinosaurs, or are things about to get ugly? And will that Kenku ever shut up? Find out next week on Dungeonbreaker.